Well, let's talk ultralight camping furniture, ideal for backpacking trips, which I am on. I'm on a solo trip up here, backpacked to this alpine lake that I took my boys to for their first backpacking trip earlier this year. And last year I bought, hopefully you guys can see this here, I don't actually know how to pronounce this name very well. Helinox, whatever. Ground chair. They're, well known for having several different ultralight chairs. And for me personally, what I have found is if I can spare the weight, having some kind of apparatus, furniture, let's say, to get me off the ground is worth the wait, particularly if you are going to a location hanging out. I mean, if you're going day after day after day, new spot, just trying to crush and eat up miles, then it's an extra weight that you probably don't need. But if you're chilling around a campfire, once you get there, having fun, and hanging out and trying to take in the view, yes, there's tons of rocks around, but man, having a chair of some kind really helps out a lot. Now, I purchased this. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, and I'm going to unpack with you guys today why I bought the ground chair version versus some of the other versions, what I like about it, what I don't, and ultimately, hopefully, will help you guys determine if having a backpacking chair in general is right for you and whether or not going with the ground chair variant, because it's unique to some of the other ones out there, and there's a reason why I bought it that I'll unpack with you, might be worth throwing in rotation, or are you a tried and true rock and log only guy? Leave a comment below as we're diving in. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical. Let's start talking about furniture. All right, back in town, and I figured it'd be a perfect time to really break down the chair and why I picked it up. And I'll annotate in the specs, and you can just see it when it's packed up. It's one of the smaller, lighter options, and that's partly why I went with it, that will give you a back. You can do a three-legged stool, but then you don't have the back support, and that's really, I mean, at that point, might as well just, sit on a stump or a rock. All right, here's where the magic happens and why I chose this chair. It has to do with the cross beams and these broad, maybe 30-degree angled feet. What those do when you sit down is distribute your weight, and you're not gonna sink into the ground like almost every other design that has four legs that are like toothpicks, and when you put your weight on it, at least one, because most ground is pretty soft, and if all that weight are on these little spindly portions and aren't distributed well, you're gonna start sinking one way or the other, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, and you tip over, way more prone to break the legs on those type of chairs. As an example, prior to getting this ground chair, for a few years, I've used the Ultralight from REI that my dad gave me, and what we have are those spindly little legs. And let's see what happens when I sit down on this. You can see immediately how deep the left side is sinking, and I'm already starting to feel uncomfortable and tilting that way, and I can't tell you how many times I've capsized at a campsite, and then you gotta get up, and you're kind of shifting, and okay, is that good? Okay, that feels pretty good, and then 5 minutes later, and then especially if you get up and it's been sinking and you get back into it, boom, tip over, and could spell disaster. So that, along with the kickback, lazy boy, reclining feel of the ground chair, I mean, just chillax all day in something like this. So weight, size, and not sinking into the ground were the main characteristics to give you the comfort of lounging like this. With that said, there is one issue that I'm not a huge fan of with this design, and we'll get to that in just a moment, but I just want to thank today's sponsor, ZOLEO, and I am super glad that I have this device with me, because it just gives me an extra peace of mind to know that if I get injured as I'm testing out gear and enjoying myself, that I can hit that SOS button, get in contact with first responders right away. And it gives my wife peace of mind as well to know that she can communicate with me if something happens back at the home through the Iridium satellite network. And I can communicate to her if I change, direction, if something happens, whatever, and we can communicate back and forth. And that's obviously just the tip of the iceberg of what ZOLEO and the satellite communicator offers. There's all types of other features. One of my favorite is the untethering feature, so that I can disconnect it and give it to a friend or a family member. They can connect to it, go on their own separate adventures, and then when they come back, I just tether it back to my phone. So you can share this device with friends and family as well, and it just adds to its level of value, but also peace of mind. So guys, I'm going to have a link in the description box below over to the ZOLEO website, along with my exclusive promo code, which will waive the $40 activation fee. So I encourage you guys, start exploring all the different features, all the different capabilities, and the subscription plans that can easily fit in any budget, so that you guys can have peace of mind the next time you go out on all of your adventures. And now to those issues. It's getting up out of the ground chair. That's the first one. Kind of a nightmare. You really got to throw yourself, or I've even had to like roll out of it depending on kind of what the ground is doing and stuff, and then you almost have to fall into it. So it's a trade-off of stability when you're actually in the chair, and the comfort and like the reclining capability compared to the in and out. So maybe if it's not that easy for you to get up and down anymore, my dad, he's getting close to 70 and he still goes with us, and that's something he doesn't really enjoy. Well, then maybe one with the legs, giving you just a better angle. You're willing to, sacrifice the falling in, the legs teetering and things like that, and maybe a little extra weight. The second thing is that this is one of the lowest rated weight classes. And I know for you bigger guys, you want to have some comfort on the trail. That could be a no-go and a non-starter as well. Now, on the flip side, their Helinox, whatever, one chair, which is kind of the same idea, but it has the legs. That one is one of the highest rated weight classes at like 320 pounds. So that's something to consider if weight is potentially an issue. So there's no perfect system. It's a trade-off of deciding with a little bit extra weight and comfort of getting up and down, but you're gonna have to sacrifice stability and sinking all the time, and maybe the angle of your chill factor, or more stability and a better chill factor and a little bit lighter weight. I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think? What do you look for in your mobile camp chairs? Or is it just a non-starter and you're just like, no, man, it's just not something I even, waste my time with? I always appreciate you guys' feedback. I will have links to all the chairs that we talked about and a few other good options, like a high value option as well, included below in the links. So I invite you to check those out to the affiliate networks I partner with. And until next time, I hope that you stay equipped and stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.